Oh boy, oh boy. Sony A7R IV, the R stands for resolution, as probably most of you know. There is a dilemma when it comes to buying a camera, that's how I feel. And people dedicate their lives and YouTube channels to choosing the right camera and doing all these really intense comparing to see which one is the right camera to use for which occasion. And an interesting choice, really. It is an interesting choice. The Sony A7R IV is coming out. The Sony A7 III is out there as well. It has a price difference of about $700 US. So this is $700 US more. Why in God's name have I chosen this camera to test? Well, there's a few things I want to really try out in life, and there's something close to my heart. 30 years ago, the Berlin Wall came down. It was a massive event, and I was there, right? I was one of the first ones to cross the border in the middle of the night and went to West Berlin, and boom, life changed forever. What I want to do is 30 years later, I want to have a documentary style to see how has life changed for people east and west, and what is their thinking and how has it changed altogether. And that's why I'm looking towards this Sony A7R IV. I want to take pictures as well, and not just video. I want to take pictures of the wall, of the graffiti style writing on the wall, because that is really pretty cool these days. And I think this camera can do well. I want to do interview shots, I want to take pictures, as I just said. And I took this camera out to Munich for one day to see what it is like as a hybrid camera. Is it really good at those two things, taking pictures and good video quality footage? Look at that footage, make your own judgment. There's probably room for improvement to really get more out of this footage and get more out of filmmaking.
Your father's calling you from the porch. Name, so make the call. Gray, gold, your face will never be the same. Flame, bold, you'll steal the sun. When the only weapon is your name, and they won't count if you don't aim. Good intentions hold us back. You should stand down. Hey, oh, hey, ooh, hey, oh, hey. Shame, control, like a cage behind deep dark eyes. The games unfold, you've won. Take your soul, let it grow without a show. Make the goal and run. When the only weapon is your name, and they won't count if you don't aim. Good intentions hold us back. You should stand down.
But there is a few things I really like about this camera. And number one, I really like the Super 35 mode. For people who don't know, that's a mode that basically extends the range. It crops into your sensor. Almost you have an APS-C sensor, right? So your sensor gets cropped in. But the difference between this camera and the Sony A7 III, for example, is that the image quality that comes out once it's cropped in and extended range is a 5K image. So the image quality actually gets better. That means when you do your documentary film style and you crop in, you have a brilliant image. You don't lose any image quality per se. When you have, I use the zoom lens as you said earlier, when you have a 35mm mode and you just put that Super 35 mode on, you suddenly have a 55-ish mil lens, and that is cool and super useful. I found it really super useful, especially when you don't lose any picture quality. That's ace, especially for what I want to do. And number two is the image in body stabilization. And I know the 7 III has a good IBIS inbuilt, but this has 5.5 5 stops. So on paper that doesn't sound much, but I feel that it is slightly better than the A7 III, and to me it makes a world of a difference. I'm not super comfortable with these handheld shots yet, so I'm learning, right? So the more stabilized the camera and the lens is, the better for me. And that's reason number 2. I feel like this is much better stabilized. Number 3 is the LCD screen at the back, and I feel that it's more crisp and more bright. It is brighter than the Sony A7 III. On paper it is, but I feel like in real life it truly is, right? Paper and real life, always 2 different things. But when you go out in sunny weather, then it makes a huge difference. I mean, there's so many things that are different from the Sony A7 III, which is geared towards the videographers, geared towards filmmaking more, and this YouTube kind of filming stuff. But I don't know, I kind of like what I see and what I got here. And when you look at that image quality, it is really good image quality what's coming out. And I'm new to Sony, right? I used to shoot Canon, and there's obviously that debate. I don't really care as long as the picture looks good at the end and as long as it fulfills my needs, right? So these are the first 3 things I really like. And there's a lot of things we know already about this camera. The megapixel count is set 42.42 megapixel. Of course it takes good pictures. There's a given, right? That's a given. So I'm looking into the things that kind of make a bit more difference to my situation, right? And I want to share that with you. So these are the first 3 things I noticed that make a difference to the filmmaking and handheld shooting and taking pictures. However, I'm going to go to Spain, I'm going to go to Marbella to do a gimbal review next week. I'm going to take this camera and this lens, maybe another lens, but mainly this lens with me and do more testing. I really appreciate you being part of this journey, so it is appreciated. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. Is there anything you want to see? If there is any questions about that camera, is there any questions about anything else? Let me know in the comments. See you next time in Marbella. Peace out.